Can you hear me? Is it all right now?
Yeah.
All right. What's going on, guys? We are Tottenham TV here, back again for another live stream, just like our attempts to sign Antonio Conte. That was the same as our audio, I think, as things stand. The deal seems to be a bit rocky at the moment with Antonio Conte, which is as expected, let's be honest. I mean, as far as we know, the deal was still quite likely to go through. However, there are now reports saying that, especially from the Times are now reporting that Antonio Conte is not currently convinced by the Tottenham project, as there seems to be a lack of ability to be competitive right now, and he's not really interested in a long-term project, and he wants to take the weekend to mull things over. Apparently, he's happy with the contract he's been offered in terms of how much wages he's been getting, but he's not happy with, or has reservations, should I say, about the project Spurs are putting to him and whether he's going to be able to compete right now. And he wants the weekend to think about it, which is worrying, I think, because the more he thinks about it, the less chance he has of taking it. I mean, it's worrying at the moment, the news coming out surrounding this Conte deal, especially after Ali Gold updated yesterday that the Pochettino door has closed, he's saying. So if we're not going to be getting Pochettino for sure, then all our eggs in the Conte basket.
No, yeah, I mean, I've been telling you for a while, look, he did a good job at West Brom this season, Big Sam, and I just think that's where we should be looking at the moment. No, but yeah, look, it's not what, I mean, did we expect anything different for this Conte situation?
No.
It's never as easy it's never this easy when it comes to Spurs. So I'm not surprised. And to be honest, do you understand Conte's reservations?
Definitely. I'm surprised he even considered it in the first place.
When he got the call, I'm surprised he even answered. So,
that's, well, yeah, but this is
I
the
would
thing.
have just been like, Daniel Lee, yeah. No,
yeah, but with all these leaks saying he's set to sign, it's nearly a done deal. TalkSport yesterday saying TalkSport understand it's a matter of time before
they said it's done.
The deal announced. Even this morning,
yeah,
Football London did an article, not Alistair Gold, but Football London said that the Football London understands that announcement is imminent for Conte. But now we're getting all this talk about... we're getting all this talk from Ornstein today saying that this Conte deal's far from done and that he's one of a few candidates Tottenham are talking to at the moment, and it's far from done.
Wonder who the others are. Look, then Fabio Partisi came out today and he said, I'm not thinking about another job at the moment.
He said Fabio Paratici said he was asked about the Spurs job. He said, I don't think this is the right time to talk about other clubs. It's my Juventus farewell today, and my family hopes I will find a job quickly. That's according to Romano.
I'm just bored of this whole saga, this whole managerial hunt. It's boring now. I can't bother anymore.
Well, it's coming up to 50 days.
Yeah.
So it's been a while.
It's coming up to 50 days and 49 days too many. Look, how quickly do other clubs do business compared to us and get their manager sorted? Real Madrid, Zidane's gone, Ancelotti done, signed.
Straight away.
Inter Milan, Inzaghi, done, signed straight away. So, only us, huh?
That's how it is with Tottenham. But do you think when it comes to these rumours that Conte is maybe having second thoughts about the deal? Obviously, it makes sense logically, but do you think when he on the weekend when he thinks about it, he'll think this club ain't right for me? When it's right,
if you were Conte, what would you be thinking? Would you be thinking, I'm going to get the best out of the squad, I'm going to win the title this season, I'm going to win this? I wouldn't. I'd be looking at that squad thinking we'll be lucky to get top 6, even unless half the squad go and we spend. I think we went through it yesterday. He spent 120 million in his first season at Juve, and so on. And this sort of, that sort of spending habit at clubs, and he's not going to get that. You see us spending over 100 million.
And we need to revamp the whole squad as well.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, Spurs.
And you obviously have Kane. Look, the Kane situation probably not going to be ideal for any manager.
And also, DiMarzio was saying yesterday that Spurs want to build a project around Conte. The problem is Conte's not a project manager. That's not how he does things. He's in and he's out. That's kind of how Conte has been at his previous clubs. Not to say that doesn't mean in the future he can change. But not to say that. But at the moment, it doesn't seem like it's the right fit. And logically, we said this, as much as I want Conte and as much as he's one of the best managers in Europe, it doesn't make sense him coming to Spurs where we are right now, what he usually requires, how it usually ends with him and the board. It just doesn't really, like, as I said yesterday, when with Mourinho you could see this coming, and with Conte you can see it coming, how it's going to end. So, wouldn't Conte
be top of the league in November and then 6th in February?
Wouldn't Conte's smart money be on no point risking his reputation on a job like this right now? Then again, if he does win something with us, he'll go down. His reputation will be enhanced tenfold.
I don't know. You just hit the nail on the head. There's not much else to add on that. I mean, who else even? You say he's not the right fit. Who do you think is the right fit? I watched the Alistair Gold video. He said Ten Hag probably the best fit.
Mm-hmm.
And if the Pochettino door is closed, then I guess it's probably going to be him, isn't it?
Yeah, Ten Hag. And I mean, look, exactly. If the Pochettino door's closed, and if Conte at the end of the weekend decides, look, I've thought about it, and this isn't exactly, then we really are in trouble. We really are in big trouble because Ten Hag signed a new deal. He's going to be expensive to get out of his deal. Graham Potter signed a 5-year deal last season, so he's going to be expensive to get out of his deal.
Doesn't want to come.
Brendan Rodgers ruled himself out. Where do we go? Without spending a shed load of money. Zidane, as if he's going to be the right fit.
Just giving up, just shouting.
Yeah, like Zidane, he worked in Madrid.
Huh?
He worked in Madrid. I'm not.
I was about to say, don't turn your nose off at Big Sam.
Oh, Big Sam. No, I don't want Big Sam. Well, firefighter already.
Or Nuno
Espirito Santos. Got a super chat here from Gregcellent. He says, Mourinho was meant to be the first step of this big project, but it's all irrelevant if Levy doesn't get his wallet out. Serious changes need to happen.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. Serious changes need to happen if we're going to get in a manager like Conte. And is Levy going to flip a dime overnight?
Whoever you get in, you've got to spend money somehow.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to sign players. You can't... If Conte says, I need 100 and something million to spend, and you say no, and then another manager comes in and goes, I need at least 100 million. Whoever comes in is going to need something.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
So might as well just go with the best one.
But it's important to note, the more reliable sources are currently saying that Conte is very close to signing, and it's still more likely to be signed right now. And the more reliable sources are saying that he's finalising all the final deals of the contract. He's going to be flying into London, and the deal could well be imminent. But it was Sky Italia who said, and Conte is not convinced as he cannot win anything immediately. The club want him for a long-term project. He's expected to give a decision on Monday. And that corroborates what the Times was saying. So look, these niggling doubts are a bit are starting to grow. Especially yesterday, we had Brian Daigle on, who said, look, as much as he wants Conte as well, he'll believe it when he sees it, kind of thing. And he thinks with season ticket renewals were up yesterday, I think, is his timing all too convenient?
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, Levy will be a very unpopular man.
More unpopular than he already is.
Already is. Than if we don't end up with Conte, we end up with someone else. And it was sort of a convenience thing with the renewals. But
everyone as well, make sure to tweet us at WeAreTottenhamTV because we will be reacting to anything you tag us on live on Twitter. And also do send in a super chat if you want to make sure your comment is seen. We do read some of the comments as well, but it's a lot of them coming through, so it's hard to see all of them. So do send us a tweet at WeAreTottenhamTV and a super chat. And as well, join us in our absolutely free Euro 2020 Predictor game, which is set to start at the beginning of the Euros at Scorito.com. I'm going to put a link in the description. So scroll down and click that link and join us. We're going to be giving away cash prizes and signed Tottenham shirts as well for the winners. So make sure you get involved. It's absolutely free to play. And we are going to be sending some Tottenham prizes. And let me put that in the description for you guys. But yeah, so get involved in that. But where does Levy go with Conte?
Well, I've just seen Eurosport. I don't know how reliable Eurosport is. They've said Daniel Levy has been telling people that work closely with him that this is just the beginning and that injection of cash is on the way this summer.
So where is this cash coming from?
I've got no idea.
Where is this cash coming from? Is there going to be a stadium rights announcement? Is there going to? Oh, are we selling Harry Kane?
The Chick King Arena.
The Chick King Arena. It's inevitable.
They did bring that guy in. I don't know his name, but the guy they did bring somebody in to do that stadium rights deal. Someone who had experience of getting deals. I can't remember his name. It was in Alistair Gold's video. Someone in the comments.
Yeah, no, they brought in someone. You're right.
Someone special to get this naming rights deal. So you never know. Maybe Amazon bought us.
Amazon are giving us some investment. I mean,
that's just Eurosport. I mean, it's probably utter bollocks.
But the thing is, for a manager like Conte, he doesn't come into a club not to compete.
Oh yeah,
he doesn't do that. Even at Inter,
he's not here to try and coach our youth academy to become. He's not.
He's not.
I mean, he's here to get the seat. He'll sign 30-something-year-olds to get the job done.
Even at Inter Milan, he signed. He was there for one season. He was in the title challenge and fell away, quite similar to Spurs, but obviously had a bit better ending because they finished in the top 4. And he nearly left because he was like, I don't think I'm going to get back to the next season. I'm not happy.
Yeah,
he's like,
he won the league, to be fair.
He did. No. Of course he. That's my point. But that's my point about how good he is. But he nearly left Inter because he didn't feel like he was going to be back for his second season, and he wasn't happy. And he very nearly left. And I remember at the end of the season, he was like, "We'll talk at the end of the season because I'm not sure if I'm going to be here." And he was like, "We'll talk." And they had talks, and he ended up just about staying, and then he won the league. But my point is, even at Inter Milan. Well, he won the league. He was so close to leaving the season before because he wasn't got back. This is how high his demands are. Is that realistic for a club like Tottenham? I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
It's very depressing.
And so all these talks about him having big reservations, these are logical things. These are things I thought he would say immediately.
Yeah.
So I don't know how Levy manages the situation going so hard for Conte, and if it doesn't come off because Conte looks at our project and decides he agrees with the fans.
Doesn't even cover it if it's not Conte now. Or Pot. Well, it's not going to be Poch, is it? So underwhelming doesn't even cover it, in my opinion. Anyone else? Who else is there? Like we just said, who else is there that will give the same excitement that you've got right now for Conte?
Eurosport do say Conte is on the verge of signing for Tottenham, and agreement is also in place for Fabio Paratici. That's Eurosport, but
Only Eurosport is true, huh?
Eurosport are pretty unreliable. I'm pretty sure they're not the most reliable of sources, but that's what they're reporting at the moment. They've been toing and froing with the whole Gareth Bale saga over the summer so far. So, have I missed another super chat? Super chat here from Jimmy Jones says, "If we don't get Conte, equals the beginning of the end for Tottenham." Well, probably that's
probably just the end.
I think we're already at the beginning of the end.
We're well and truly on our way to the end.
Paul Markey says the way things are going will end up with Sol Campbell as manager as he's going around begging for a job.
I'll tell you what, it was funny. I had TalkSport on the car yesterday. He was the guest.
He was the guest.
Yeah, and they were asking him, how many jobs have you applied for? He said 9. They said, how many have you been turned away from? He said 9. And he said, how many interviews have you been given? 1. So he got turned away every single job. He got an interview at Sunderland, then they sacked him off.
He couldn't even get the Sunderland job.
Been rejected from every single job he's applied for. England under-21s also didn't even give an interview. Brilliant.
And Matt Hayes, quick super chat, says, Antonio Conte's blue army, come on you Spurs.
Brave.
Coifs. Come on you effing Spurs.
Brave.
Very brave from Matt Hayes jumping the gun. Hopefully not.
With Sam Allardyce's blue and white army.
Look, in terms of Sol Campbell, he made his bed, and he said he finds it ridiculous that Tottenham fans still hold it against him what he did. But I'm sorry, he knows what he did.
He's not the full ticket.
Huh?
Not the full ticket.
Not the full ticket.
He's not well. He's not all.
In the head, yeah. I think it's affected him, his mental health. This whole thing over the years.
I have no idea, but he thinks he's some kind of genius as a coach.
That's my point. I think in the head there's something like all this abuse has got his getting to him.
He's coached. Awful.
Yeah, I mean, well, he kept one of the teams up, didn't he? Which was quite a good job.
Macclesfield
or something, and then he got relegated to another team. But he's obviously, but he has to be fair to him, he's taken very, very difficult jobs, which are near the bottom of like both leagues. But the fact of the matter is, what he did shows character. It shows what the character he is in terms of how the way he did it, the way he left Spurs, who he left to, but what Sol Campbell's got to realise is why is football so popular? Why is football one of the most watched things in the world? Why does everyone get so gravitated towards football? It's because people, it's their livelihood. People take it seriously. Sol Campbell wouldn't get paid so much money if people didn't care about football. If people didn't take football seriously and people didn't live and breathe the game. So to use that so flippantly and think of it just as like a normal job, which I know a lot of football players do nowadays. But to think of it when he grew up at Tottenham, went through the academy, became captain of his local team, became an absolute hero at Spurs, and then to absolutely chuck that away by leaving on a free transfer when you're saying you're signing a contract to your biggest rivals. He knew what effect that was going to happen. So I know it's been 20 years or whatever it's been, but the Spurs fans are always going to hold that against him, and he's just going to have to live with that. We had to live with his choice, and he has to live with our choice, and that's it.
No, spot on.
Like, so I don't understand what he's so confused about. He's just got to accept it. He made that choice to do what he did. No one forced him to do it. He did it, and he knew the repercussions at the time. And this is what it is. Spurs fans will never forget what he did. Absolutely not, and they shouldn't.
No, I completely agree. You can,
I know. I'm not trying to get. I'm just saying. That's what I'm just saying about the whole Sol Campbell thing. I don't know why he keeps coming out saying this is ridiculous. I still get abused. Well, but look, you know what you did.
What does he expect us to do? Oh, it's all right, mate. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, chill. We'll forgive you.
Become part of the coaching staff.
No, you can absolutely do one, mate.
Yeah.
And I'm being polite. I'm being polite to a lot of people would say. Aravin the analyst says if Conte signs the contract, we are sure spending big this summer. Levy needs to do it, or else his profits will be going in minus and mid-table. Absolutely. And I wonder what kind of transfer we will have if Conte does come in.
It's so hard to not just refresh Twitter over and over
That's
again.
literally what I'm doing. It's been my life for the past, ever since the season ended. My life has just been refreshing Twitter, looking for the latest updates. Spurs in the driving heat to sign 25-year-old. Who's that? Oh, that's Joachim Anderson. Boring. How many more updates can we get on bloody Joachim Anderson?
I'm worried about the manager. It's going to be very obvious. Like, let's say Conte comes in. I don't want Anderson. Then what'd you do? Great. No, but Antonio, we've signed. We've got the deal done.
No, he's all right, Antonio. He's all right.
He's about to sign the contract. Yeah, but I don't want him. Okay. Sorry, Joachim.
Let's look through some tweets because people are tweeting at us. Let's see what people got to say on the current situation. Brian Daigle, gotta love Brian Daigle. He's in the tweet saying there is more chance of a guy with one ear putting on a pair of sunglasses on correctly than the parasite getting either Conte or Poch deal done.
Bit of a stretch.
A bit of a stretch?
Harsh.
You think it's harsh?
Not harsh. Not the words.
Harsh on people with one ear.
Not the words he's used, but I don't know. I think a deal could. Look, I don't blame Levy for giving it a go, but if you've got this far, you've got to do it. You've got to seal it.
If it doesn't happen, do we think that if it doesn't happen, do we think like
no ambition?
First of all, Conte sees what every Tottenham fan sees right now, and also, is it how much of an embarrassment if it is if we have a free run at a manager like Conte and he looks at us and says, even though he's got no other offers on the table, you don't match my ambition, unfortunately. Like, is that not like so telling? We can't get Conte in right now from this position.
I don't know about you, but that's it. We won't be winning anything anytime soon if Conte says no.
Mm-hmm. It shows exactly where we are as a club. If that happens. Another tweet from Jay the Id. It's August 1st, 2021. Spurs miss out on both Conte and Poch and now are in talks with Scott Parker. Guaranteed to happen. I'm just imagining deadline day. I know managers don't need deadline day, but he's going to wait till deadline day to go for one last big push for Poch. And then
deadline day?
I know, knowing Levy, he just loves deadline day. Phil, 2019.
This has got to be done, by the way, by next week. Pre-season starts for the players not at the Euros in about 3 weeks.
That's right. So it has to be done. Look,
Might even be
this has got to be
less.
done ASAP. Phil2109 says, thank you, Sim. This is the reason I wanted Pochettino. It's clear as day that Spurs need a project manager. Conte is like a Mourinho in the fact that if he doesn't get the right players, then he will leave. Example of this is Lukaku and Inter.
Disagree. I mean, Mourinho got the players he want more or less. He wanted Bar, Skriniar / Diaz, and he didn't want to leave either. He got sacked.
True. The difference in Conte and Mourinho is Conte is more than happy to resign if he doesn't feel right. Mourinho is more likely to try and get himself sacked for the payout. That's the difference. That's the difference. Like Mourinho likes to get himself sacked for the payout, and Conte will more than happy just resign if he doesn't feel like nothing's working out. And that's why they always say with Mourinho, once he starts playing up a bit, things are just going downhill, and that's why they always say it. And I think we saw that a bit with Spurs. Why Peteretta with the super chat saying, if Conte comes in, do you think he will use 3-5-2 with Kane and Son up top? If Kane stays, I think it's very possible. I think it's very possible. One sec. I think that if Kane stays, Kane and Son up top could be a very good option, and I think we know how good they can link up together. So there are very few partnerships that could work better going forward.
Like Lautaro and Lukaku, I think.
Exactly, and so it could definitely work with Kane and Son, but it's up to them to stay, and that's why people say like Son. If people say Son won't have a place in the Conte system, he definitely will. Mm-hmm. Because he's played so well up front.
Him fit anyway.
Yeah, look.
The best players of the club.
Either we play 3-4-3 and he plays on the left, or we play 3-5-2 and he plays up front. Yeah. Son will be in the team.
Absolutely.
Son can play up front, Son can play on the left, and that's it. So no chance he's not going to be in the team.
Look, whoever comes in, Son will be. Look, if it's Big Sam's 6-4-1,
Son will be in the team.
Son will be in the team. Sorry, I'm loving the Big Sam. I saw some great ones this morning.
Scorpions for Life says, we were expecting Potter at the end of last season. Suddenly we are pulled into thinking Potter and Conte. We are hopeful but gullible as fans. Yeah, we are definitely gullible.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely gullible. That's what. Soon we got to realise it's season ticket renewal time, and Levy loves pushing things at this time. I mean, I'll be so pissed. Do you think, if again going back to what I said before, if we don't get Conte, is this a ploy just for the season ticket renewals? Is there a possibility this is it? That's what Brian Daigle was accusing Levy of yesterday, and Jory said. Jory as well was like, maybe we should think twice before believing these rumours.
We'll find out this weekend. This weekend will tell us where this club wants to.
Because if he's offered an agreement for Conte, which he was never going to agree to, then it could be just. Because how many times has Levy made a bid for someone who he knows he's not going to get, and for an offer he knows is going to be rejected just for PR? He's done that so many times.
And he wouldn't pay the 15 million image rights?
12 million or something image rights. Yeah, cause, he knew it wasn't going to go through. I remember we bid at one year in deadline day, we bid for Aguero, even though we knew it was never going to go through. Not for when he was at Atletico.
There were loads. Jean Moutinho on deadline day. Mm-hmm. That they wanted ridiculous 30 million for him at the time, which back then was a lot of money.
There's about 4 deadline days we bid for Bale, which we knew when we knew it was never going to happen.
Yeah. Leandro Damião, many deadline days.
Mm-hmm.
Just loads
so
of
many times that we've gone for something last minute. We know it's not going to happen, and then we can say, oh, we tried. Look, I was so close. How close were we to getting this player? So close. Unlucky. We'll go into the new season, knowing that we tried or something. You know what I mean? Jimmy Jones says, if we don't get Conte, apart from Ten Hag, what about Rafa?
No thanks.
Why not? What's wrong with Rafa Benitez?
Defensive, very defensive.
More than Conte?
Conte's not defensive. Do you think Conte's defensive?
I wouldn't call him defensive, but he definitely has a bit of a pragmatic style. So he can do it anyway.
He builds his foundations on a good defence, but I think they score a lot of goals and they play very direct attacking football.
Mm-hmm.
Rafa, I don't know. Do you think Rafa would succeed at Tottenham?
I mean, I think he's another manager who gets a bad rap. I think he's done, except for when he took over from Mourinho at Inter, I think he's done pretty well wherever he's been, really. I think he's done a good job. At Newcastle, he did a good job recently. I know he's been out in China. I've got no idea how he's been doing that. But People saying, Slav, use the bloody mic, for God's sake.
Oh, sorry. I keep thinking it's...
So I just, face it. There you go. Beautiful.
I'm very
we hear
sorry.
you. We hear you, commenters. Even if you can't hear Slav. Let's look at some tweets. Well, let's talk about Rafa. Sorry, we're talking about Rafa. I think I wouldn't want him as my first choice, just because I think he's the last he peaked really at Liverpool 10 years ago, and he hasn't quite been as good as he was then. But I still think he's done a decent job. So I wouldn't say he'd be a disaster. But yeah,
I don't think he'd take us anywhere.
No, neither do I.
I don't think he'd win.
There are worse managers we could get.
I don't think he'd win anything, and I don't think there's a guarantee of a top 4.
That's true.
I think it would be better than Mourinho. I just don't think it would be much better.
Let's read out this tweet. Clinton Braganza says, Tottenham Hotspur will make one last push for Pochettino, the Sun reported last night. We don't listen to the Sun. Although you got to say the Sun were the first to report Pochettino in the first place, so I guess they have some previous on that. But do you think there's any truth we could make one last push for Poch?
I said we said this in the lift on the on the way up. They said the Pochettino door is closed, but you can just open a door, can't you?
You can open the door unless the door's locked.
They didn't say it's locked. Just
Didn't say it's locked. They just said it's closed. You're right. Needs pop.
I do think it's probably too late now, but
Poch needs to show some chivalry and open it for us.
That's what it was though. I think it was from the Spurs side. They were ready to do it, and then Poch didn't come out. What do you make of that? Why do you think Poch didn't come out and say, "Look, I want to"?
Because I don't think it's the kind of manager or a type of person to just disrespect the club he's managing for.
But if you want to go, then you can't say I want to go.
He might want to go. There's a difference between want to go and forcing your way out.
Obviously, he doesn't want to go that badly. If you want to go, you
depends how bad things are. It depends how bad things are. Look, there's one thing saying I'm not happy with how things are right now, but you can have frank conversations and be convinced to stay. And there's another thing saying things are so bad, they're irreparable, and I'm desperate to leave by all costs. He might well see Tottenham and be attracted by a return and think, I want to be there and I'm interested in going back. But that's one thing, being interested and going back and wanting to leave. And there's another thing saying, I want to burn all my bridges with PSG. I want to leave after 6 months and resign, and I want to get out of here as quickly as possible. I don't think he's in that latter one. I think he's probably just interested. He likes the prospect of being back in England and being a project manager. But is he willing to burn bridges with the team he was captain for as a player and leave after 6 months after being a manager? I don't see him as being that type of person to just resign like that, unless he has the blessing of not the blessing, unless he can leave on good terms and they're thinking, look, and maybe the owners are like, yeah, look, we agree it's not working out, maybe it's best we part ways. They want to keep him. They're desperate to keep him. They're saying he's doing good work, we want you to stay, and we believe in you. We're going to extend your contract by a year to show that we want to keep you, stuff like that. So I don't see him as a manager to kind of spit that back in their face and say, look, as much as you want me to stay, I'm so unhappy here that I'm going to resign after 6 months. I don't think he's that kind of guy. And I said that when all the rumours were starting. So that's how I see the Poch situation. I'm sure if Spurs and PSG came to an agreement, he'd happily come. But I don't think he's the type of manager to just resign. I just can't see it. I don't think he's that type of guy. Maybe if it was a year, if he was there at least a year or full season.
It's actually kind of worrying what we're going to do. I mean, if Conte doesn't happen, I really am struggling to see what's going to happen. Ryan Mason could just end up getting this job permanently. They might just say, look, we can't find anyone. Can you carry on for a bit?
Well, have we sacked him yet, technically? Not sacked him. Have we relieved him of his duties
I don't think so. Danny Rose, get the job?
Danny Rose? We'll talk about Danny Rose in a minute, because I think it was good that finally they... at least kind of acknowledged.
I think they did out of peer pressure.
Probably, because I think he's been here 14 years. But we'll get into that in a sec. But let's get into some more tweets here from you guys.
Oh, hello.
From where?
This is... Hang on, let me just pass this to
Where? Breaking news?
I'm not sure. You tell me. That was 2 minutes ago.
Let me verify this. Let me get some verification. No, I'm keeping your phone. Let me get some verification. Could be some nice little breaking news on from him. Is there? There's nothing on his Twitter, so I don't know where they've got it from. But apparently, is that the real Spurs web? Because sometimes people do these fake things.
Yeah, that is the
apparently, here, let's show this tweet. Fabrizio Romano has tweeted saying there is currently no problems between Conte and Tottenham. The two parties just need to agree together. But is there a problem or not?
Agree on what?
Yeah, exactly. What do you mean?
If there's no problems, then you agree.
Oh, someone said he's on Talk Sport right now.
What, Conte?
Yeah, not Conte. Romano. Conte. That's apparently where it's coming from. Well, I hope he's right. But what's left to agree then if there's no problems? If there's no problems, why is it announced?
Tim, this is doing my head in. My head hurts from this.
This tweet is obviously Romano is being very positive about it, which is great. It sounds like, look, if anyone's going to know more the ins and outs, it's going to be the guys over in Italy because they'll know more about what Conte thoughts and stuff like that.
Who are reliable because they're the ones closest to him.
They will, but then what's there to agree then? But Sky Italia said he's not going to decide till Monday because he's not convinced.
That's why I believe Sky Italia.
But Romano is Sky Italia. He's part of it, isn't he? Or he's free. Maybe he freelances for them.
I thought he was Guardian.
He used to be Sky Italia, so I'm guessing there's some sources from him. That is the latest apparently from Fabrizio Romano. There are no problems between Conte and Tottenham. The two parties just need to agree together. I guess we'll have to wait and see what that means. Because what's left to agree then? I don't know what's left to agree if that's the case. Hopefully, I'm hoping he's right. I'm hoping that we can get this deal done as soon as possible. Let's see more tweets because people have been tweeting us left, right, and centre. Someone, Dylan Southerly, says, just get your wallet out and then ask Antonio where to get new hair. What do you make of Levy with the Conte hair? You fan?
Zoom in a bit.
Levy with Conte hair? Would you
that's
rate?
Frightening.
What do you rate?
That looks like something off a Netflix horror documentary. That is frightening.
So he looks better without the hair, you reckon?
I'm not going to say what I think that looks like.
That is terrifying.
I mean, I'm a bit taken aback by that. He's got some ferret on top of his head.
That is awful. He looks like something. Honestly, he looks like those serial killer documentaries.
Yeah,
on
literally.
Netflix. It's like the front, the poster of it.
I never thought Levy looked so good bald until now.
That is terrifying.
I'll best take it off before I scare Slav off.
Yeah.
Really random user says, people say stadium deal is 350 million over 10 years, for example. Does that mean they pay us 350 in a lump sum, then after that, or 35 million a year for 10 years? Could be crucial
Tim,
for
you
this
can
summer.
answer that one. I haven't got a clue.
I believe it's not 350 million lump sum. It's over time. But no, but I think the money increases, and I think in like 2034 or something, the money starts going up, and the payments are bigger. Right now, the payments are fairly small, if I remember rightly. I'm not 100% sure on that one though. I don't think the payments are very big right now. Doxon G21. If Conte comes, I saw an article that Ericsson will come.
Okay.
Would you want Ericsson back?
No.
No? You think it's time to be and gone? Even if
why do we keep signing people back? You get Dembele back next.
He's
in China.
I know. That's it. He's in China. Masterclass says Conte will bring fresh football, but there'll be a need to beat a large pot. Selling of Kane, Ali, Dyer, Winks, and Sissoko. There is your 250 million pot plus.
Whoa. I mean, you're not getting more than a tenner for Sissoko. So.
I don't want to sell Kane though. If it's between selling Kane and or having no money to spend, would you sell him? I guess.
No money at all. Like not a single penny.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I'd still. Oh God, no, I can't.
You have to stick with Dyer and Winks and Sissoko, or you sell Kane.
But can you not make money from selling people that isn't Kane?
No. Those are all Sophie's choice. I know. I don't. This is too hard. This is difficult to think about.
I don't think I can take another year of Aurier and Winks and Dyer and Sanchez and everyone else other than Harry Kane.
But if you sell Kane, you can sell the rest as well.
Yeah, I guess I'd have to then.
You'd have to.
I can just buy him back.
Buy him back for the money. Phil2109 says, I can't see Levy spending 70 million on a player. Levy is now feeling the consequences of his actions of lack of ambition in over 18 months of not backing Pochettino and not adequately funding actions always speak louder than words. Hashtag Levy out. I think that's right. I think right now he's we're definitely paying for how he treated Pochettino in the market, and Pochettino knew what he wanted. He didn't give it to him and decided to sack him instead. Yeah. And we're paying for that. 100% we're paying for that. He decided to go for a quick fix in Mourinho, who we thought could get a rise out of the squad. Didn't happen. And now we're paying for it. I think that's 100% true.
No, I agree with you.
Ali Hassan, what do you think of reports that Levy doesn't want Conte to bring in more than 4 staff? Seems rather petty to me. If that is true, I think that's ridiculous.
I don't get it.
Makes no sense. Makes absolutely no sense why you would call on one of the best managers in Europe right now and say, look, we want you. We're going to give you some funds. Reportedly, we really want you to be here as our manager right now. We know what you can bring to the team. We really want you now. And then he's like, all right, fine, I'll come, but I need all this stuff. It's like, yeah, you're gonna have to choose between 4 out of those 7. You have to leave some of them behind. You can't have all of them. It's like, why would you do that? Why? Why would you want a manager bring him in and not bring all his stuff and get everyone he wants? I just don't understand that thinking. I don't get it.
Neither do I. Are you asking
It's
me?
like,
I haven't got a clue. So it's like you can reenact the meeting, right? So how many staff members are you thinking? 2, 3, 7. It's not how we do things here. But you know Ledley King, he's got to be a part of it. So unfortunately, he's going to have to replace. I think it's his brother that he works with. You got to leave your brother. You're going to
leave your brother behind. It's like signing a player from abroad. It's like, okay, I'm going to need all my family members to come. It's like, you're going to have to choose between.
Well, no, it's like signing a player from abroad and going, so, yeah, but you're going to have to bring your own boots and we're not supplying the kit.
Yeah.
You have to go to the mega store and buy a couple of home and away shirts and take it out of your salary.
I just don't understand it. I just don't get fine. I mean, how much can staff be?
Maybe they've offered a few. Maybe they said, look, you can have 7 staff and no trips on the Skywalk. Or you can have 4 and you all get 2 goes on the Skywalk. So, I don't get
Is that all right? Fine. 5 staff, and we'll give you 5 Skywalks as well. We'll chuck that in. And a free Spurs museum ticket.
I don't get it at all. Very strange.
Oh man, unbelievable. Who else has tweeted us? Spurs Through and Through has tagged us in a Spurs web tweet saying, this is from Eurosport, Antonio Conte is on the verge of signing for Tottenham as new manager, an agreement also in place for Fabio Paratici. Yeah, we said that one before. We don't really know how reliable Eurosport is. More breaking news.
No, it's the same thing, but other outlets.
Other outlets saying
it's now just down to an agreement, despite the fact that there are no issues.
There are no issues, but they need to agree.
It's going to work here.
Basically, they're both on the same page. We need to agree these players are shit, yeah? Levy's like, they're not shit. You know, Conte, no, they are shit.
I want to get rid of 12 players. They're fucking awful. He's got, no. Have you seen Harry Winks play? And Conte's gone, well, yeah, he's rubbish.
That's the thinking point. Levy's like, no, he's good. Conte's like, no, he's crap.
He's like, I have been watching you in the last few games. I did watch that Villa game, and that was awful.
Someone in the comments, DL, saying, I'm sorry, Conte, you'll need to pay for the season ticket this year and for the fees for every home game. Imagine we're charging Conte a season ticket for his managerial seat. He can't sit down, he has to go standing. If he wants to sit, he has to pay premium season ticket price.
I'd love to be a fly on the wall in these discussions. Do you reckon how Conte acts on the sideline and impress? You know, he's a bit of a lunatic. Do you reckon he's like that in the meetings, just screaming at Levy?
Screaming, kicking that ball, like throwing the pen away.
Just the things on Levy's desk, just doing that, just knocking it all off.
I think those two men are just as sub.
Levy's just going, okay, you can have 7 staff, okay.
That's what he's got to do. That's what you got to be with Levy. You got to be stronger than him. Donato says, if we do get this Conte deal done, I'm a firm believer that Levy will invest and will make promises to Conte. We all know for a fact that the second Conte feels like he's being shafted by the owners, he'll walk. He almost did last summer at Inter, and now he did. That's what I said before, and it's absolutely true. Even when he's on top and he's winning, and even when he's doing a good job, he's on the owner's like, I need this, I need that, I need that. So imagine even now, before he's even started the job.
Imagine what he's going to do when we lose 2-0 to Newcastle on the opening day.
He's going to rest the whole squad. He's going to just rip it up.
Honestly, you're going to see like, I don't know, Ben Davis hitchhiking on the side of Tottenham, on the side of
Well,
Hotspur away.
that's what happened with us, isn't it? We lost to Everton on the opening day, and then Levy was like,
Levy realised, we might get relegated at this point.
He was like, okay, maybe we do need to spend. Maybe Matt Doherty isn't enough.
So they bought Carlos Vinicius.
Yeah, exactly. Phil2109 says, respect to Danny Rose, Trippier and Pochettino for telling the fans what the parasite Blofeld Levy was doing at our club. Beloved extortion of the fans is truly his business. Blofeld, I never heard him being called Blofeld before. That's a great analogy. I like that one.
I don't get that one.
Blofeld, James Bond? Didn't watch James Bond? No?
I watched Skyfall.
Did you watch Spectre?
Yeah.
He Blofeld. The guy, what's his name? Christoph Waltz?
Maybe. I need to watch it. I haven't watched it in a long time.
It was only out a few years ago. Matt Hayes says, did I mention Antonio Conte is the next Spurs manager? You did not mention that.
Well,
he did mention it, though. Conte's built. Do you have some inside info that we don't have, Matt? Because I want to know. I want to know why you're so confident. Look. I think all roads at the moment do point to him being appointed. I think there are a few sticking points which I'm surprised Spurs can overcome if they're able to. Okay, so apparently it's via TalkSport. This is from THFC report. Let's get these tweets up because he's gone a bit more in depth in terms of. Okay, so he says the situation is ongoing, because Conte and his representatives and the Tottenham board are discussing about contract, salary, project and staff. He wants to bring his members with him. That is the key for him. They did an amazing job at Inter, so that's why it's so important for Conte to have his staff with him. At the moment, there is no total agreement. Let's see what happens in the next 48 hours, because he wants to continue to discuss with Tottenham and decide with his family about the future in London. Tottenham and Conte are still negotiating. I wouldn't say there are problems, but they need to decide together. When you have a manager like Conte, if you want to go with him, you have to go with them. You have to go 100% with a serious project. And that is what I'm saying. First of all, people have taken from those quotes from Romano wildly different things, because what I'm seeing from Romano is there's still a lot to be discussed and decided and agreed upon. People are just taking Romano says there are no problems. That's definitely not what I'm just read from those quotes.
There are obviously quite a lot of problems.
There's quite a few problems, what I'm seeing. And second of all, this is what I'm saying. This last bit is exactly my point. If you want to go with a coach like Conte, you have to go with 100% with a serious project. You don't go to him and say, you can only have 4 staff if you want 7. You don't do that. You say, okay, you bring whatever staff you want because we want to be as successful.
We'll
exactly. You bring in as
what
whatever
you want.
staff.
We'll give you whatever you want. All you got to do is win us the league.
You won the league at Inter Milan. Those staff helped you win the league. You trust and believe in them 100%. You can bring them with Spurs. What we're trying to do is like moulding our club to him. It's like, no, you can only have a few of them, but you have to try and work with 4 staff instead of 7. It's like, what? That is so petty.
You've got to try and win the Premier League, but instead of with your own staff, you've got to use Ledley King and Ryan Mason. That's what
Chris Powell.
Like Matt Taylor. Oh no, he left.
Like, I'm not saying these are bad coaches, but these are not his people. He wants his people who he trusts, who he knows how to work with.
Who he's won the league with.
Who he's won the league with. Like, why would that even be a discussion? I don't understand the discussion. Like, how much can staff possibly be costing? They're not going to be on 100 grand a week like players. I
don't know.
They won't be. They'll be on. I'm not saying they're cheap, but they're not going to be like 50 grand a week. They'll be like 2 or 3 grand a week or something. You know what I mean? They're not going to be expensive for a football club like us. So I don't like if Romano saying the staff is a big factor for him. If this is what they're failing on, then it's absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculous that they're failing on bringing staff in for him. It's not unless he's asking for like his own personal chef. Like what? I don't understand what the problem is. He wants a guy who he knows his own whatever physio or his own technical director or whatever. People on the training pitch who are going to be working with the players day in day out, who he knows we trust, who knows how to work with. Why would you not give that to him? Why would you not allow that to him? Why would you limit him? Why would you bring in a manager like Conte and limit him? That makes no sense.
I agree. No.
No idea.
You've got to allow him to breathe and bring in his own style.
I don't want him if he's limited.
100%. 100%. And then Conte won't agree to anything unless he has it his way, and we all know that. Cody Mack, big up Cody Mack. People still defending the board and their negotiation tactics despite other clubs not mucking about and getting the job done. If I was Conte, I wouldn't come near this club. Sad to say it, but it's true. How is he supposed to trust that he'll be supported? And the truth is, Cody, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. All logic points to this not working out at all, and Conte should all logic should say that Conte should turn this job down. And let's be honest, like we're all very surprised Conte's even entertaining it. That's why we're all so excited.
He must be offered some serious money.
He's going to be offered same as Mourinho. I'm hearing. Oh, you mean money to sign players?
No,
not
I mean
like
wages.
Wages. No, he's going to be second. Apparently, he's going to be second highest to Pep in the league.
What's Pep on?
20.
So I heard this was 20.
I heard 15. I don't know. Some saying 20, some saying 15. It just doesn't make hopefully.
Can they not just today? Surely, if you're Levy, just go. Yeah. What do you want? Cool. Fine. Done. We'll give you this much to spend. We'll get rid of all of these. Let's go and have a successful season. Here's the paper. Sign it.
It's never that simple, Levy. And leopards don't change their spots, and I find it hard to believe Levy will.
Calling him a leopard.
Is that bad?
I don't know.
Leopards are cool, aren't they?
You calling Levy cool?
No, I'm just saying leopards are cool. Like they're the jungle animals. They like attack things. The only thing is they don't change their
Levy's a
spots. There's
parasite.
nothing about. It's nothing about being a bad thing. Greg Solon says Levy the type of guy to tell Conte to go to IKEA to kit his own office out and then refuse to expense the request.
No, yeah, but he's going to get a new table for the office or something, but then not give him the instructions. Yeah, go and buy this table. I'm going to hide the instruction booklet from you. You've got to put it together without it.
Literally,
That's what it is without having your staff.
Yep.
It's like saying you've got to do it by yourself without the instructions.
Mm-hmm.
And without the backing. That's how I view it.
Peter Palfreman starting to get frustrated with seeing all these updates meaning nothing. Just give him what he wants and get Conte appointed. This is the thing. Conte does not have a club right now. He doesn't have a club right now, so this deal really shouldn't be that. If we're really serious about Conte, if we're serious about him, and we're serious about getting him in and having him for a serious project, then this should not be a difficult deal. The only hold-up would be is that Levy's trying to he's trying to do things his own way, which we all know he's going to do, and he's going to make things difficult as possible for Conte. Basically, that's because you look at the Everton deal with Ancelotti in Madrid. Like that was a lot harder.
He had a release clause.
Did he?
Yeah.
Of how much?
It was like a buyout clause in his contract, basically.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know he had one.
Like for certain clubs to come in, that it was only for like the top clubs.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. But still, that was probably a more difficult deal to done. A manager at a club already. You've got to pay out the clause. You got to do all these things, and they did it within a few hours.
If Conte came, how long do you give it till he falls out with Levy?
6 months.
And leaves? Do you reckon and goes?
No, he'll probably go after a year. He'll probably have the summer and then January realise that we ain't going to back him, and he'll leave after the end of the season.
Right, he'll realise in the January when he wants 3 players, and we don't sign anyone in January.
We'll probably have a good fast half of the season. He'll say, "Look, we've been good, but if we get this player or that player, we'll push on and really actually go for big things." And Lee will be like, "You can have this 35-year-old on a free," and then Conte will be like, "No," and then and then after 6 months, it will be like, "No, I'm out. I'm gone." That'll probably be happening. That's probably what I predict things will go. The more time Conte takes to reflect, the less likely he is to join. No Kane, no Conte. And also, I read a. I read yesterday a report, a newspaper in Italy, saying that the Conte deal negotiations have fallen through because he hasn't been convinced that Kane is definitely staying. That's what I read, and I can't remember what publication it was. I don't know how true it is. I mean, I hope it's not true, but that's what I read. But that's what I was saying. That's what I'm worried about, because Kane said he ain't going to decide his future till after the Euros, and Conte said he needs sureties that Kane is going to stay. And that could be a sticking point.
I mean, look, if Kane does go, you'll have 200 million to spend.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be
well,
too
not 200,
disheartened.
150, I'd say a maximum. I don't think we're getting
Really?
200, yeah.
I do.
I
I
don't.
would say 200.
I wish. I just don't think it's feasible.
Then he stays, no?
No. I think 150 would be the price. Jack Milne says, we need Conte to challenge Levy, not just for the good of the club, but for the fans to know where we stand. If he comes, then maybe Hakimi follows. You think Hakimi's coming for 60 million?
No,
or whatever
80
it is?
million, 80 million euros? No way. Not for a fullback.
No chance we sign Hakimi.
Nope.
Mm-mm. Spurs through and through says, let's face it, Levy and Enoch has no chance of getting Conte. I want him, but I doubt it will happen. A lot of people starting to get doubts.
Yeah.
Shane THFC says, I can honestly see a scenario where we don't get Conte or Pochettino and end up with someone else. Yep.
I
absolutely.
think a lot of us can see.
And
I've been saying all morning, Big Sam's coming.
Big Sam, he's inevitable.
He'll be there.
He's inevitable.
It'll be Big Sam, and he's going to bring Diagno with him. Him and Yokushlu.
Yokushlu.
and Semi Ajayi. The boys.
I missed a super chat. I didn't see that. Jordan McLean says, do you not think maybe Poch isn't as keen as we think he is on joining Tottenham? Knowing Kane is likely to go, Delhi isn't the same, the defence is woeful, and knowing Levy...
And there's no Ericsson, Dembele or Vertonghen or Rowan.
Poch knows he won't be able to spend tons to rebuild. Spurs' job just isn't as appealing anymore. I think there is some truth to that, but I do think he does want to come. I just think right now he's not desperate to get... I think... He probably isn't happy, but I don't think he's so desperate that he's willing to go all guns blazing to leave. I just don't think he's in that situation. I don't buy that.
Maybe you're right. No one knows.
No one knows, but I just, from what I can see from the situation, that's not why I just don't think he is that desperate to leave. I think he wants to leave. I just don't think he's desperate.
I'll tell you
And
who
he
might
needs
be
to
close to leaving. Did you read the Lucas Moura Al Jazeera report?
Al Jazeera
Or
or wherever it was. Yeah, I did see that. There was a report saying he's linked to a club in where is it?
The UAE.
Arab Emirates.
Yeah.
Well, look, if they pay the money, I'm happy to let him go, to be honest.
Yeah,
As
I
long
mean,
as I like
27
him.
million for him, and he's how old is he?
He's 28, 29, isn't he?
So if you can recoup some of that,
Exactly. I think it makes sense. I think as much as I think
that's
he's
what you call selling someone at the right time.
Look, Lucas is a fine player, but he's never going to be what we think he could be. He's never going to really fulfill his potential. I really don't think. He's always going to be this inconsistent winger. He's always going to be that.
Yeah.
So it's better to cut our losses and try and get someone else than to just continually hope he'll be anything other than what he is, which is very good on his day, but inconsistent. That's it.
Him and Lamella can both go, and I'd happily replace them. Honestly, not that this would ever happen, but get rid of Lucas and Lamella for however much you can get them and sign Rafinha.
From Leeds. I like him a lot. Good player. 50 million he's probably going to cost.
I mean, he came off the bench against us a few weeks ago, had about 15 minutes, and ripped us apart, didn't he?
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. The THFC report tagged us... No, sorry, Jason Williams has tagged us in a tweet. Spurs have held positive discussions with Conte and are hopeful of appointing him. That's from Dan Kilpatrick.
When was that?
That was 3 hours ago, though.
Yeah.
Jamie says... Hope you lads are having a good day. Thank you for all the latest news. Oh, thank you, Jamie. That's very nice of you. What's this? Someone's tagged us in something. I don't want to open this. I don't know what that is. I don't. Huh?
Super chat.
A super chat. Yes, from Josh. Josh King. Gut feeling, lads. Is it going to happen? What's your gut feeling? Josh King wants to know.
I don't know. I'm gonna say it's gonna happen.
My gut's telling me it is going to happen just because, there are so little alternatives right now, and everyone seems to be on the same page that it's very close. So my gut feeling is telling me it's going to happen, but logic just states that it's just a match made in hell. But my gut is telling me it is going to happen.
I think it will happen. But
I think it will happen.
The longer it goes on,
yeah, the more he thinks about, the more we allow Conte to think about
Sissoko.
We should give Conte an ultimatum today. The more he thinks about it, he ain't gonna. If he thinks about it for longer than
He's
today,
already watching videos of the squad and going.
The most worrying thing is someone said Conte is currently doing a deep analysis of the squad. I'm like, no, don't let him do it. Don't let him do it.
Show him the squad from the 2016 season.
Show him videos of Sissoko from 4 years ago.
Just show him another team that play in white that are quite good. Just show him Real Madrid.
Exactly. Don't show him Tottenham. Who's giving the videos? Sebastian Finn says, "Where are we getting the funds for Conte if we bring him in? We won't sell
Sim's
Kane
doing strip dancing
because Conte does not want to, and he needs financial backing."
Sim has an agreement with Levy. They've got a secret agreement.
Maybe
Sim set up an OnlyFans.
Yeah, I think the whole squad are going to have to set up an OnlyFans to fund this. I think that would actually probably rake in quite a lot of money.
Yeah.
To be fair. Do you reckon here I want to know if the Tottenham squad had to make an OnlyFans to fund transfers,
We don't have Paolo Gazzaniga anymore.
would the Tottenham fans accept that?
Well, we don't have a Paolo Gazzaniga anymore, the most good-looking man in the squad. He's gone.
You know what? The whole squad don't even need to do it. You just get Sonny to do it, and and that would explode.
Yeah.
Someone says Levy OnlyFans.
I'd pay not to see it.
Knowing Levy, he'll like do an OnlyFans or just do no nude, just like fully clothed OnlyFans pictures, just like skin people out. DJ Tivy says, "Get Conte 1 year deal, get in 2 centre backs, try win something."
1 year deal.
Why would he accept that? Win something and try and win something. If not, sell Kane and buy Campos and Poch and out for a rebuild with the Kane money.
Campbell's going to Arsenal.
I hope not. I really hope not. GD Morgs says, "Levy knows what he's doing. He's a money maker and a businessman. If Conte doesn't come off it, it's because he's doing it for other reasons, season ticket exposure or more." That's what we're worried about.
Do you reckon AJ Tracy knows what's going on? Because he's just tweeted.
Saying what?
Just the eyes emoji replying to Fabrizio Romano's thing about Partici.
No, he's just replying. He's just.
Oh, let me have it.
He's just getting excited by an update from Romano, isn't he? He doesn't know anything. He doesn't know a thing. Except how to spit bars. Do you reckon Conte will be in his latest song if we get him? I don't know. I can't think of a bar.
Budget like Conte.
Nice. Love it. Josh Ashwin says, "I think the reason that Conte has been announced is because he's on holiday. We probably need to wait for him to come to London and quarantine before he can physically sign the contract." Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Is this actually? Yes, this is actually us. We are on TikTok, people. Go on TikTok and follow us. We are making content now on the platform. We have 106 followers, as you can see. And so, if you are doubting, I don't know, do you get verification marks on TikTok? We don't have one yet, but I don't know if we'll ever get one. We'll see. We will get one if we apply for it. Slav's saying we will. So we'll apply for it. But that is us on TikTok. So at WeAreTottenhamTV, go follow us on TikTok and go check out our content there, which is bespoke content for TikTok. So yes, that is us. Spurs through and through. What's this? Nah, this has got to be fake, isn't it? Yeah, it's fake. Knew it. You're trying to bait us. This guy. It says he's trying this fake Spurs web account. It's fake. No, he's got 700 followers. Says Conte is off. Daniel Levy and Conte were extremely close to reaching an agreement, which fell through as Levy demanded from Conte to go bald in order to bring loyalty to Tottenham. Conte was furious. That is brilliant. I'm just imagining that. Oh, very good, very good. That made me laugh.
I've got to find that.
Send that to all your friends.
That's fine.
You have to bait them.
Could you imagine that was real? Breaking news. Unfortunately, the talks have gone through after Levy demanded the Italian manager go bald.
Get rid of that fake hair of his.
Could be the other way
Just show
around.
dollar.
Conte saying he'll take the job if Levy wears that wig.
No, Levy might be one of those bald people, who like other bald men, and then they don't like bald men who like get hair transplants because it's not not their true selves. It's like,
it's like Sol Campbell.
I've seen
Arsenal.
he might go to Conte. Look, I've seen bald pictures of you, mate. Like you're a bald
You've
person.
got to
at
embrace
heart.
it.
Embrace it.
You're one of us.
This is the integrity I want in a manager who I'm going to appoint. So, Mustafa El Cordy says, "Who can be alternative candidates with the Spurs job if we fail to sign Conte?"
Sam Allardyce.
Big Sam. Look, I think there's Ten Hag and there's Potter, but there's slim pickings. There really is slim pickings.
Ralph Ragnick.
Ralph Ragnick, who we're talking about, sporting director, apparently. Clinton Braganza says, "Where's the beautiful ENIC out banner that you had? The black top table coverage is a bit of an eyesore." We haven't got. We took it off an England game. We haven't put it back yet, so we're probably going to put it back soon. I think. We just haven't put it back on yet. I don't know why. My bad. Apologies.
Fix up, Sim.
Fix up, look sharp. Well, look, exactly. I'd stay on the ENIC if we're going to get him out. It's damn right. Luke Warwick says, if we actually finalise Conte, how much do we give him? We've probably gone through that. We probably don't give him anything. Really random user says, Footy Insider, yeah, they're not very reliable, which they aren't, said that Conte wants to Vrij if he comes to Spurs. So would you prefer Skriniar or De Vrij?
Either or.
I actually think De Vrij might be the better centre-back. I think he might be, but it's... yeah. I think he might be the better one. At WeAreTottenhamTV, it looks like he was collecting his London weather clothes. It looks like he's collecting his London weather clothes from Milan, departing now. John Hernshaw says, the way it's going, maybe Christian Gross will make a sensational return. Tyler Johnson says, I heard Sims sent his CV to Daniel in a Sun article. We don't deal with the Sun. I would never do it in a Sun article. Carter says, we should set our plans carefully. Levy needs to stop screwing things up. Conte will be the right choice for us. Look, if Levy's serious about Conte, he should be getting it done. Absolutely. Absolutely get it done immediately. There shouldn't be any hold up.
No, I agree.
Coys says, we all know the Poch door is closed, but like the Sky Sports person said, we need to hear an interview from him. And do you think if we get Conte, he could bring Skriniar? He would be the perfect player to partner Anderson. I agree. Skriniar would be the perfect player to partner Anderson. I absolutely agree with that. To Ben, Sim and Slav, enjoy the picture of Levy and Ryan Mason. That's him as Blofeld. You recognise Blofeld yet?
No.
Still not. Disappointed in you, Slav. Conte has no idea what he's walking into. I need I need that Portuguese guy, Fernandes. Got it. Classic. That's a good old classic. The Portuguese, I love it. Is that Helder Postiga? Oh, fair play. That is Helder Postiga. Surprised he's your AVI, but fair play. I rate that. I rate
OVI?
that. AVI.
Oh.
Rico, any chance of you guys making Euro 2020 prediction? We are. Well, a show. We are doing a show, but also scroll down and join our Predictor game at Scorito. I can even show that to you guys. Scorito. Here it is. Look at this.
Scorito.
We have a We Are Tottenham TV League. 109 people currently in it. If you scroll down and click the link, you'll be able to join the... you're going to be able to join the Predictor game, and we're going to be giving away prizes for people who win. So people who finish in the top 3, we're going to be giving away prizes. So make sure you're in it to win. It's absolutely free to play. If you just scroll down and click the link, and you can join right now. You predict all the games from the Euro 2020. And you can also predict all the top goal scorers. You predict who's going to finish the group. It also gives you previews and all the stats of who's in the squad and who's in form and all these kind of things. So if you just scroll down, hit the Scorito link for our free Euro 2020 Predictor game and join today. Super chat from Matthew Nellis says, imagine a world where Conte deal falls through and we end up with someone like Martinez. Would it be a disaster? Love the channel and the content. Yes, I think it would be a disaster.
An absolute
unmitigated disaster.
Train wreck.
To go from Conte to Martinez would be a disaster, yes.
That would be it. We'd be done. That's it. That's mediocrity for life if that happens.
John Hernshaw said it probably wasn't a serious attempt by Levy if he's putting stupid conditions like only 4 staff. The season ticket rumours sound more likely to me. And I agree. If the staff is a sticking point, this deal was never serious. I completely agree with that. But that's only rumours at the moment, isn't it? We'll have to wait. Well, then again, it's pretty much confirmed if Romano's saying it. Hugo House says, people are losing their heads for no reason. Conte has nowhere else to go. Spurs have no one else to appoint. Levy will be forced to back Conte, otherwise he'll just resign before the season starts. Everything is falling into place. We definitely have the money.
That's a good point.
What?
How Tottenham would it be to appoint him and he resigns before, like, you know how Pulis resigned before the season started at Palace?
Yeah.
Like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's so obvious. They're ready to start work. He gets the job. 3 weeks in, he goes, right, I need these 2 players. Can you get them in for me? Levy doesn't. He's gone. Is that not very obvious? And we got Ryan Mason back.
If anyone's willing to do that, then it's definitely Conte. If anyone has the ability to resign before a season, Conte.
I hope Levy realises who this guy really is in terms of, he will go.
He should definitely know who he's getting in bed with. That's for sure.
Oh,
it's a business term.
Oh.
Ian Ferguson says, if Levy blows this up over Conte's staff, come on, man. I completely agree. Talking THFC, we were tagged in by Alex saying from Eurosport, Tottenham Hotspur chairman Levy has been telling people, that's what you said,
that's what I read out,
that work closely with him, that it's just beginning and that an injection of cash is on the way. I hope you're right. Pete says, all these things all these rumours, and there's one thing for certain, Lamella is still going to be here. Probably true.
Mm-hmm. Conte might like him, unfortunately.
To be honest, he might be a fan of Lamella. He might well be a fan of Lamella.
They're both lunatics.
Alpha T says Levy could be offered a genie and he'd turn it down because the upkeep of cleaning the lamp after rubbing it doesn't tally up with the portfolio projections. Probably.
When do you think we'll find out the answer to everything?
Next week.
You don't think today, tomorrow?
I don't think so. I think it's going to be a bit of a waiting game. And also, we know Spurs social media, they like to time things to perfection. So they want maximise on it and everything like that. So I don't
mean announcement from Tottenham. I mean, you know how it gets leaked a little bit before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, when do you think we'll get a bit... Let's say he does
probably over the weekend then, in that case. Probably over the weekend.
They said they wanted it done before the Euros, didn't they?
Yeah. Well, Euro starts a week today.
5 o'clock is ticking.
What's this? Antonio Conte is currently travelling to London. Well, that's a picture of him in an Italy jacket. No, that's definitely not that picture.
Yeah, I saw that.
Apparently he's not in London, so I don't know what to believe.
He's in Pergu, somewhere in Italy.
Perugia?
Perugia, I don't
know. Let's see what else people are tagging us in. Harry, THFC 17. Yeah, we saw that. What's this? Get subscribing, lads. We need a new back line. Levy's only fans. There you go. Everyone go subscribe to Levy's only fans, and we can maybe get the ball rolling this summer. Let's see. Hakan says, I think he'll come because he wants to. Because he went to Inter when they were like you, not doing that good. Not in CL, and made them a team just so wait and think. True, he did take Inter when they weren't in the best of spots when he took them over, so that's a fair point. Providing we keep Kane with some sensible business, we could well be back competing for a title in no time under Conte, but even sensible business has been proven to be beyond Levy, such as how stingy he has been over the years. Can't seem changing.
I think that's why they brought in this director. Well, trying to bring in
Paratici.
This director of football.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Spurs Africa. Why is Levy holding on to all these deadwood players? Sell 50% of them and buy new players. I'm just sick that almost everyone thinks getting the best coach will solve our problems. If Mourinho couldn't do it with them, no one can.
Mourinho's finished. They're different.
They are definitely
We
different.
say this. They're different.
The anticipation of who's going to take the poison chalice is too much. The longer it goes on, the more I realise that Levy hasn't got a plan.
I'd love to see the Amazon documentary of these conversations. I'm sorry, it'd just be so
It would
funny.
be epic. It would be epic. Sebastian Tampin. Levy promises a progressive attacking manager 1 week and instead will sell us a top manager who we won't back. When it comes to football decisions, Levy is just a sheep in sheep's clothing. A sheep in sheep's clothing.
What
Nice.
clothes do sheep wear?
Wool, don't they?
Yeah, maybe you see a sheep in a jacket.
Because usually a wolf in sheep's clothing, isn't it? But he's saying he leaves a sheep in sheep's clothing. Ryan says, coming from an Everton fan, I think you can challenge for top 4. Who do you think we will get after Carlos is gone? Probably either Eddie Howe or Nuno. One of those two, I think. That's my
I
pick
read
for
Steven
Everton.
Gerrard. Could you imagine that?
Gerrard to Everton? No, I can't.
Maybe,
imagine it.
they could look abroad, that Paulo Fonseca. Look, I mean, no disrespect. I don't see Everton getting a manager on or being in talks with somebody on the level of Conte. I just don't think there's. I think the main difference
Ancelotti,
between. I think the main difference between us and them is Kane and Son, and the facilities, the back it well.
They got Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison.
I don't rate Calvert-Lewin at all.
At all?
At all.
Do you mean you think he's average?
I think he's so average.
Why?
What other than winning headers? What's he supposedly good at?
He's a good finisher.
Inside the box.
Physically, he's pretty good.
If we sold Kane, would you go and say get Calvert-Lewin as a replacement?
If we got someone like Grealish as well, yeah.
I don't know. I don't think he's average. I don't think he's as good as everyone makes him out.
No, I agree with that. I actually think Ollie Watkins might be better
I
than
think
him.
Ollie Watkins is quality.
Yeah, I
Really
think he's a
good.
bit better than
I
Calvert-Lewin.
think he's a lot more mobile.
Better hold-up play.
Better hold-up play.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I think he's just a better footballer.
I agree with that, actually. Jack Mulkerin says, this is what Daniel wants him to look like. There's a picture of bald Conte. Now, that's the man we're appointing.
It just looks frightening. I read some reports that the younger players at Spurs are a bit cautious about Conte because they won't get a look in. That was from Evening Standard
Well,
or Guardian, somewhere like or Times. I don't know.
I don't really
one
care
of
what the
the
younger
three.
players think.
But
What are we going to hire a manager
but-
because of some young players
But
are
the
worried?
senior players are excited.
That's the main thing.
So
The young players have got to keep grafting right now. They're not in a position to make demands. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I didn't think they meant the youth academy. I think they meant some of the younger players
Like
in the
who?
squad. Maybe I don't know. Didn't give me names.
Sessegnon,
Maybe Skip,
Reguilon, Skip.
Tanganga.
I don't know. Breaking. Conte has agreed to the loyalty terms after Levy promised 200 million in transfer funds. Watch us get Frank de Boer in. Matches our level of ambition.
Worst record in Premier League history.
Joe Rabson says, "Who do you think he'll be? Who do you think he will be backed, and who do you think he will sign?"
Don't know. Gonna wait for him to come in first.
Managerial honours. Look at that: 4 Serie A's, 2 Italia Supercoppa, 1 Premier League, 1 FA Cup, and 1 Serie B. Quite the trophy haul he has. Antonio Conte.
When he comes to Spurs, he's gonna add a Conference League.
Another fake account breaking. Conte has failed his Tottenham medical after a blood sample was found he did not contain the Tottenham DNA. The deal is off. Do you think this Tottenham DNA is a thing?
Yeah.
You do think it's a thing?
You look at clubs like Chelsea. It's just in there. They just win. Same at City. They just win.
I mean, when I talk about Tottenham DNA, I mean style of play, all this Tottenham stuff. Like a manager has to be right for Tottenham to manage us, or do you think that's all overblown? It's all talk.
I
We're
don't know,
talking about Tottenham DNA.
I think it depends what you view success as. In terms of when it comes to a DNA, if you're happy playing nice football but having nothing to show for it, who cares? Do you care? Can you go and say, "Oh, yeah, but we play nice. You won all these trophies, but you didn't play He didn't play his football like we did.
No one talks about
No one
that.
cares.
No one talks about that when you win trophies. They only talk about that when you don't win.
Chelsea had their game plan against City in that Champions League final. They perfected it. They deserved the win and the game and the trophy and whatever. But it wasn't pretty at times. They defended and they defended well. But no one cares that they weren't, bombarding Man City with attacks. They got the job done. That's what it's about.
That's what Tuchel was all about since he came. It was all about 1-0, 2-0
just
wins.
getting the job done. Defensively
Very similar
sound,
to what I think Mourinho was trying to do
taking your
with
chances.
Spurs. That's what I saw. I didn't see that much different to what Mourinho was trying.
They play when they have the ball. They're much more effective than
They
they keep
were.
the ball.
I
We
agree
didn't
with
keep. I remember speaking with you and Ben, and we said for the majority of this season, our possession, we can't keep the ball. We can't keep possession for more than 5 passes.
I think for the first half of the season it was a bit different, but I think second half of the season I do tend to agree.
We couldn't, even the first half of the season, we were getting results. We still couldn't keep the ball. It was still backs to the wall for the whole game and then hit them when we can. Whereas Chelsea, that when they need to keep the ball, they can keep the ball.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point.
They dominate possession in their games.
No, they don't.
They do.
Not
Maybe
against
not all
City,
of them.
they
Maybe
do,
not
but-
against Man City, but they do in the majority.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, they
I know what you
do, I
mean.
promise
They do
you.
have a lot of possession. They do. I know they have a lot of possession. It's different to Spurs, but in terms of how many chances they create and stuff like that, it's not.
Well, Timo Werner scores 8 offside goals.
Yeah, that's
a
also
game,
true.
so.
Black Eyed Dog says Big Sam's Blue and White Army.
Yes, come on, I've got one on board.
Neil Churchill with this tweet.
Big Sam, yeah, is that Sammy?
Dr. Evil and Mini Me.
Thought that was Big Sam.
It's Daniel Levy and Steve Hitchin.
Super Sammy Allardyce.
That's
We'll
another one
have
I've seen.
extra chewing gum on sale in the Spurs stadium if Big Sam comes.
Tottenham Tears, it says Fabio Paratici is a supreme youth talent spotter, says Alistair Gold.
Is that why he signed a 35-year-old Ronaldo?
And a 34-year-old Perlo.
And Ramsey, who was about 28, 29.
Well, but look, if he can spot a young player, that'll also be positive.
Weston McKennie was a good buy for them.
Yeah,
Young
he
player,
was.
really good player.
JD
So is Chiesa. Sorry.
No, go for it. Yeah, Chiesa has been very good, and Bernardeschi hasn't really worked out, but he was a good young
Chiesa's
player.
Great talent.
Who is?
Chiesa.
Yeah, he is. Levy is happy to give people like Sissoko 80 grand a week, but won't allow Conte to have his staff who will cost barely nothing.
Have
It's
you
ridiculous.
seen Sissoko? Unbelievable player.
I can't believe we bought over 30 million and made him.
I
like
can't believe he's
one of
made
the
it this far as a professional footballer and is still going to the Euros.
He's quite. The guy can't play football. It's ridiculous.
I don't understand how. It just goes to show that all you need is fitness and physicality
in this day and age. Yeah, because his first touch and passing ability.
I don't. If you
anything
said
with the ball,
if I
is
said to you,
horrific.
name me, take off the ball, he's probably quite a good player. Running, fitness, physicality. If I said to you, name me something he's good at on the ball, an attribute he's got that he's good at, what would you say?
One thing I would say is his carrying can be decent. Ball carry. Like
It used to be.
Like he can be.
Or dribbling it into the corner.
Yeah, I think he can be quite good, like bursting past 2 or 3 players in a short distance. He can be quite good at that sometimes.
And
other than that, very little.
Even as he's quite tall as well. He's over 6 foot, and he doesn't win headers either. How many? Who was the cup final?
Yeah, he lost the header.
He lost the header to Laporte. And that wasn't the only time.
No,
it was when we conceded in that semi-final of that League Cup run. He was his header that he scored the header, but it was also the goal we conceded. He didn't win the header,
which was ruled out.
Which was ruled out.
Yeah,
very harshly ruled out. Ivan Toney.
Matt says if we get Conte and need to build around our core players like Lloris, Reguilon, and Ndombele, Højbjerg, Son, and Kane, who would you buy if you were Conte? Also, your streams have really got me through the half term. Always enjoy every day. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
That's very nice to say. Who would I get?
A right back, a wing back.
Yeah, so you get like a Max Aarons.
You just sort the defence out.
You get you bring in a Skriniar or a De Vrij plus
Or
the
both.
Anderson or both.
And a Sabitzer, and if you can get a backup striker.
You get like yeah, exactly. And you get
I think we need a lot of players because I think we need a winger as well. Because unless Bale comes back, I think we need a winger.
Yeah, we don't know if Bale's coming back yet. It's just conflicting reports because Ancelotti said what he said about Bale, and then everyone else has said it hasn't changed anything. So We'll have to see. LQs, anyone other than Conte now would be a disaster. Levy, get it done. Alex, I can honestly see Lucas putting in week out Messi-like performances in the Saudi League, given his Europa League form.
Probably.
Unseen Shadow says it's really not easy to sell our Deadwood. They are so bad that there is no market for them for the money we would be asking for.
Yeah.
That's the worry. That's the
true.
worry thing. We're going to have to take a lot of hits, aren't we?
You have to lie about them. You have to lie about what they're good at, and they're just when someone comes in for a Sissoko, just send them videos of like Bissouma.
That's a bit racist.
Oh,
Apologise.
so I'm sorry.
It's all right. I mean, that's not for me to forgive you. Conte wants Eriksen, Matic, Skriniar, Perisic, and Giroud. Would you take any of them?
No.
Matic?
I'm not. Those sound like Mourinho signings.
They really do. Skriniar, Perisic. I'll take. You know what? Giroud's on a free, and I actually take him. I don't know why people would turn their nose up at Giroud.
Maybe.
Because if you think about backup strikers, like how many better than Giroud are there?
I read he was going to AC Milan anyway.
To play with Zlatan. Someone said this is Daniel Levy.
Do you know what that is? Do you get that?
No, what is it?
It's an online football manager game you play with your friends.
Oh, right,
It's
is
like,
it?
That's like the character, like the mascot character kind of thing on the front page. OSM, it's called.
I see. Lol. Matteo Moret says Conte will last year and get fed up with Levy's ways. Yep. That's what we're all saying. Joe said England related question. What technically does Henderson offer that Ward-Prowse doesn't? Although there's a golfing experience and there's a massive golfing leadership with Ward-Prowse being captain of a PL club at his age. Good question. But I don't think he doesn't. I think Ward-Prowse is obviously unbelievable at set pieces. I think in general play, Henderson might offer a bit more than Ward-Prowse. But I think Ward-Prowse is a bit younger as well, so he can definitely add a bit more energy than Henderson. And also Henderson's injured at the moment, so I don't know. It's a difficult one to answer. But just Henderson's more trusted. Contracts need to be read and signing them can take a bit of time. Words need to be negotiated. Even background checks have to happen. Even if it's all agreed, process normally takes a bit of time. Chill, please. Oh, this is an ITK account. You saw that, the source?
What, on that one?
No, it's the Secret Prem. What was his name?
Oh,
That
that's
guy?
his name, the Secret Prem.
Secret Prem, the source.
He said Poch is done.
No, he outed himself as being fake again. Yeah, but apparently he's Prem transfer man from last summer, which was so obvious. I still can't believe people still fall for these like ITK accounts. Ross Ballum says, who would you lads say will be most likely to part ways with the club if Conte arrives? Oh, Aurier's going. We know that. Sissoko's going. We know that. Probably one of Dyer or Sanchez. I think Sanchez, one of them, is also going to go. So I don't know. It's difficult to say at the moment. Very, very difficult to say. Super chat. Hasn't come through for me yet. One sec. Yeah, I read that one. It's all right. Spurs Africa says Levy is a he should sell 70% of the squad and rebuild with new ones. No coach can do better than Mourinho with the same squad. Conte, no matter how good he is, cannot do any better than Mourinho. Conte has won 70 of his 96 games while in the Premier League. That's very impressive. Very, very impressive. Look, I'm all on the Conte train if he comes. I definitely want him. It's just whether we can satisfy him. Conte's jet is leaving Milan Airport now. Oh, are we on a private jet tracker now?
Plane watch.
Are we on plane watch? Apparently, I don't know what this proves. You could literally be sending me anything. I wouldn't know. but apparently Conte's plane is right now leaving Milan. Can anyone verify this? I don't know if this is true. This is what I've been tagged in. I don't know. I got no idea about it. I don't know how people track these planes. How do they do it?
I don't know.
I don't know how they do it.
It's funny though.
They just estimate that this guy might be leaving this now, so they see for any private jets leaving or something. Conte will have a good run at Spurs if he does his work right. We could do with some quality players like Watkins and Sabitzer. Absolutely. What's this? A lot of people concerned about Conte not getting backing. Let's assume Conte gets no signings. Where do you think this team finishes? That team finishes outside the top 4, I think. Lloris in goal. Back 3 of Tanganga, Toby and Rodon. Bergwijn and Reguilon of fullbacks, wingbacks. Højbjerg, Ndombele, Lo Celso in a 3 with Son and Kane up front.
Who's the centre backs?
Rodon, Tanganga and Alderweireld.
Yeah, no,
I think outside the top 4.
Sure. Yeah.
I think that's where we finish. Who would you want Conte to bring with him if he came to Spurs? Skriniar, Barella or Hakimi?
Oh,
I think Barella, man.
Barella.
Or Skriniar, though.
Barella.
Barella's
There's
so
quality
good.
centre-halves all over Europe.
Players like Barella don't come along
Barella's
often.
unreal.
He's so
Hakimi's also great.
good. Mm-hmm. Man, that would be a real tough one. I think Barella, though. Robin Gill tagged us in a Football Daily of Gareth Bell talking about his time, saying that he's still only going to wait till after the Euros for anything. He's not going to say if he's staying or not. Fair enough. Daniel Levy bottling a deal that could turn us into a serious club. He's
You've done it again! You made me today dirty bastard! You've done it again!
I absolutely love that one. It's my favourite one.
Cheers, Lee.
Sam, it's inevitable.
I can't see that.
He's inevitable. I generally
Robert Snodgrass
is incoming.
I generally think Conte could be amazing for Tanganga. He was amazing on his debut on the right side of the back 3 against Liverpool. Yeah, that's one game, man. It's one game. I'm not saying he's bad. I just think you can't put too much emphasis on one game. What's this? Breaking news. Conte has failed his Tottenham medical after a blood... I read that one out already. If we don't get Conte, would you have Potter as manager with Campbell or Ragnick as director of football?
Yeah.
Yeah? I mean, I wouldn't be too adverse to that, to be honest. Anyone else? And Connor and reputation remaining talks to Tottenham's company man. Any issues are mainly on how much expenditures believe that Conte's first priority will be to convince Kane to stay. Obviously, he wants Kane to stay. And also, let's talk about where is it? To Spurs today, tweeted an interview with Danny Rose. I don't think we'll be able to show all of it. We can maybe show a bit because
a better person, a better
Danny
professional,
Rose talking
a better
about.
human.
They said 14 years of law service. Thank you, Danny. There's Danny Rose. Sorry, I can't show any of the footage, but there's Danny Rose giving an interview with the Spurs social media team for his 14 years at the club. Which is, I think, a bit. He definitely should have had more than what this interview. I think it should be done earlier. Mm-hmm. But fair play to the club for at least having this interview. Because it looked like nothing was going to happen. He was going to kind of go without a whimper. And for a player to have been at Spurs for 14 years, I think deserved a bit better than that.
Yeah.
But fair play.
Gave us some great memories.
Yeah, and I also think it goes overlooked that although he was not involved much this season, he apparently, he's been mentoring a lot of the younger players. He's been spending a lot of time with them, and he's been coaching them and stuff like that, and talking to them. And so I think
it was a big role of that great season and a half we had.
He was absolutely, and unfortunately, I feel like his time at the top maybe didn't last as long as he would have hoped because of injuries and stuff. But if you watch this interview on the Spurs official Twitter, I think he's like holding back tears. I think you can see about his time at Spurs. I genuinely do think he did love Tottenham a lot, and I think he really cared about Tottenham, and that's why even though he did get in trouble for that interview he gave to the Sun, I think even in that interview, he showed he cared. That was why he gave that interview, because he was worried about where Spurs were going in terms of he wanted Tottenham to progress. He wants Spurs to keep getting better and better. And even he could feel like they were stagnating. Even he feel like, look, I don't want Tottenham to just sign players they can Google. Well, I have to Google all the time. I want Spurs to really push on, and I want Spurs to sign big players who we're all excited about in the squad. And things like that. I want Spurs to be paying wages that are comparable to the clubs around us, because that's how we keep everyone happy and keep everyone on side, pushing in the same direction. And I think that's what he was trying to say in that interview. And I think it showed his passion for the club. But unfortunately, it didn't quite work out in the latter years. But I think he was a great servant, did really well for Spurs, and I wish him best luck in the future.
Some great memories as well. The celebrations in the 2-1 win at City when he won the penalty with the handball, the goals at White Hart Lane, the goal against Arsenal, the goal at Stoke, the comments they get after the Arsenal game in the Cup, goals against Burnley and Hull in those games in the last season at White Hart Lane.
Mm-hmm.
So big goal. Chelsea at home, just some great last ditch tackles. So yeah. Thank you.
He was one of the best left backs in the Premier League when he was on top of his game, and unfortunately, that injury definitely stopped him in his tracks when it did happen.
Yeah, I was at the game. He got injured. It was Sunderland away.
Yeah, were you there? The 0-0.
The 0-0. I went on the train, the club train. It was 8 hours or something, and it snowed. It was dreadful. We drew 0-0. Oh, that was the worst day ever. God, what a terrible day.
Oh yeah, one of those games. All right. I think we're going to have to cut it short there. But we have been live for a while. And obviously, if any updates do happen, we will keep you updated with any videos. For any more updates that happen that do seem to happen during the day, we'll be online and we'll let you know any breaking news. But I want to thank everyone for joining us again today. Thank you for all your super chats, for all your tweets. Thank you, everyone, for your interactions as well. It really does help support the channel, and it really helps building this community, which I really love interacting with all you lot. So, thank you so much for joining us again. There's not much news at the moment that we've pretty much kept you up to date with everything. So, I want to thank everyone for all your interactions on Twitter as well. So, thanks for everything today. But that's it for now. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.